Hi, it's Dachi, and today I present you my 10 favorite sound effect plugins of 2020. Today I want to show you my top 10 favorite effects of 2020. I will only include plugins that have been released this year, and I'll focus on creative effects for music making rather than audio engineering tools. Needless to say, this list is highly subjective. These are my personal favorites, so take them with a grain of salt and let me know about your favorite plugin in the comments. Number 10 on my list is Echocat by Spanish developer Waste Factory. It's a replication of the Watkins Copycat, an iconic tape delay that can be heard on countless records from the 1960s and 70s. I found Echocat especially useful for classic slap delays and some nasty feedback business. MRX90 is a simple and free cassette emulation for Reaktor by Memorex. It has only two knobs, one for noise and one for age, which adds wow and flutter. MRX90 is a quick and easy way to add some color and texture to your sound. And if you place a couple of them in a row, it can get really nasty. Number 8 on my list is Super VHS by Baby Audio. This plugin is a one-stop solution that adds 80s flair to your sound without any hassle. You can add drift, chorus, saturation, reverb, noise, and bit reduction with the 6 knobs. Of course, there are plugins with deeper features and more options, but if you need that instant aesthetic, Super VHS can save the day. My number 7 favorite plugin is Irid by Tritic. This shimmer reverb has a slick interface, it's easy to use, and it sounds really great. Every time I use Irid, I find myself just playing around with it for an hour or so, getting lost in sound, and that's a quality I highly value in a plugin. Number 6 on my list of favorite effect plugins of 2020 is Wires by double and bass developer AudioThing. This lo-fi effect is based on 1970s wire recorders, which were originally developed as recording devices for military and intel agencies, but soon also discovered by avant-garde musicians as sound effects. I like Wires because it adds a fresh twist to the lo-fi effect concept, and it can totally disintegrate sounds, but in a sonically very interesting way. Number 5 is Spectral Destruction, a multi-band Chebyshev polynomial distortion effect. I'll give you a moment to let that sink in. Most regular distortion plugins only add even or odd harmonics to a signal. Spectral Destruction lets you add 3 specific bands of harmonics to a signal and perform them with an XY pad, which can create some very interesting and unique sounds. It was created by LA and Berlin-based artist Doran Saja for his new software line Faded Instruments. Like all his plugins, it looks weird, it sounds freaky, it's completely out there, and I totally love it. Number 4 on my list of favorite 2020 effect plugins is a tie between Rev Spring and Biphase, both from Arturia. Arturia have released 2 bundles with reverb and modulation plugins this year, and I use a bunch of them on a regular basis. My favorite from the reverb bundle is Rev Spring, an emulation of the Grampian Type 636. This spring reverb from the 1960s was famously used by Lee Scratch Perry in his Black Ark studio, and it remains a staple effect in dub and reggae music to this day. I don't know of any recreations of the Grampian prior to Arturia's, apart from impulse responses for convolution reverbs like Altiverb. So as a dub aficionado, I was quite pleased that somebody finally took a shot at this. I can't tell how close Arturia's plugin comes to a vintage Grampian, but I had a lot of fun with it. My favorite from the modulation bundle is Phaser Bitron, an emulation of the Mutron Biphase from 1976. This phaser was originally designed as a guitar pedal, but works great on all kinds of keys, strings, and pads as well. In dub music, it was used on drums a lot. In combination with Rev Spring, Phaser Bitron can create the typical swirling hi-hats that can be heard on many of Lee Perry's records. We are now entering the top 3 of my favorite effect plugins of 2020, and the 3rd place goes to Albedo by Sine Vibes. Albedo is a granular cloud reverb that was originally developed for the Korg Prologue and Minilogue synthesizers, but has recently been ported to macOS. There are quite a few cloud reverbs out there, often inspired and sometimes completely based on Mutable Instruments clouds. But this one turned out to be particularly useful to me. It has a manageable amount of controls, it's easy to use, and it sounds really great. It can do drone sounds, fluffy cloud reverbs, or reverse echoes. Albedo turned out to be one of these plugins that just let me deep dive into sound and forget everything around me for a couple of hours. I love that. My second favorite effect of the year is Thermal by Output. Thermal is an interactive, multi-stage, multi-band distortion effect that can add warmth, texture, and spark to any kind of sound. Or completely shredded to pieces. Thermal has a really slick and intuitive user interface with an XY pad that invites you to perform and improvise. Under the hood, it sports a versatile and complex engine with plenty of effects and modulation options. Thanks to its modular nature, Thermal can do something as simple as add some saturation. Or it can completely disintegrate a sound, which makes it useful for both music production and experimental sound design. As with its sister plugin Particle, there might be a learning curve until you can build your own effect patches from scratch with confidence. But thanks to the easy-to-use interface and the excellent preset collection, Output delivers great results right out the box. And my #1 favorite effect plugin of 2020 is Supermassive by Valhalla. Supermassive is a combination of delay and reverb, and it's geared towards huge, epic spaces. The 12 algorithms take you on a journey from lush reverbs and strange echoes to the infinite sonic nebulas of outer space. Supermassive sounds incredible, and I would have gladly paid for this trip to the stars, but Valhalla decided to give Supermassive away for free, simply to spread some positivity in these difficult times. And I think that's super nice. These were my top 10 favorite effect plugins of 2020. If you want to check them out yourself, there's links to all of them down in the video description. Of course, many other great plugins have been released this year and I can't possibly cover them all. So my question to you is, what was your favorite effect plugin of 2020? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, stay safe and see you soon.
you.